name is Demetria Guidry, and today we are going to learn about adaptive and assistive technology and its importance in education. First, let's discuss what exactly is adaptive or assistive technology. According to the United States Assistive Technology Act of 1998, assistive technology, also called adaptive technology, refers to any product, device, or equipment, whether acquired commercially, modified, or customized, that is used to maintain, increase, or improve the functional capabilities of individuals with abilities. What is the purpose of assistive/adaptive technology, otherwise known as AT in the classroom? AT in the classroom does three very important things. First, AT fosters independence and allows children with special needs to work independently on educational activities that they may not otherwise be able to participate in. A second important function of AT is how it supports the placement of students in a least restrictive learning environment. AT allows for and makes the inclusion of students with special needs into typically developing classrooms possible. And a third important function of AT is that it helps to close the educational gap. AT gives students with special needs the same learning opportunities as their typically developing peers, therefore closing the educational gap between the two. How does AT help teachers meet Common Core standards? Elizabeth Dalton, president of the International Society for Technology, discusses how digital materials make it easier for teachers to deliver the same educational content to all students. She states, digital materials are much more malleable. For example, you can make the same piece of content available visually for the sight impaired, orally for those with hearing problems, and as a multi-sensory experience for other types of special needs. This is a very powerful tool, though you still need to keep in mind whether you can transfer the information from one type of format to another. A lot of times when we think about AT, we don't think about the technology that helps with students' mobility. AT also allows students with physical needs to be more mobile and participate in physical activities such as walking or riding a bike. How do we determine if AT is a necessity? If AT's presence, along with other necessary aids, support the students sufficiently to maintain the placement, and in the absence of the aid requires the student's removal to a more restrictive setting. For example, if a student with multiple disabilities can make independent educational progress on his or her IEP goals in the regular classroom with the use of a computer and an augmentative communication device, and cannot make such progress in that setting without the devices, those devices are necessary supplementary aids. What's important to note here is that if AT is proven to be necessary to support the student in the least restrictive environment, and it is listed in the student's IEP, then the cost will be covered by the district in most cases. Assistive technology can be adapted to assist children through all developmental learning stages. Let's watch how AT helped Elena achieve the unthinkable in her classrooms throughout her education.
Assistive technology rocks my classroom. I am Alina. I have a physical disability called athetoid cerebral palsy. It's tough for me to use my muscles for things like walking, talking, eating, and drawing. Thankfully, I use cool assistive technology to learn, play games, and do fun stuff. After a while of learning assistive tech, I finally figured out how to draw, paint, and create works of art independently with no assistance. Assistive technology allows me to write in cursive independently. I cannot do that with a regular pencil. By the time I was 12, my class was experienced enough to teach others at an international conference. My Congressman, Adam Schiff, enjoyed learning about assistive technology. And he heard about my All Kids Can Create award. Now I'm a junior in high school, 17, and my art skills are expanding. I represented Bookshare at the CSUN Assistive Tech Conference. Bookshare is an accessible online library for people with print disabilities. My voice is hard to understand, so I use my iPad with a Proloquo to Go app to communicate. Assistive tech software helps in all my classes as I get ready to go to college. I am studying Spanish too and exploring the Proloquo for Text app. I hope to communicate using assistive tech in other languages. Assistive tech allows others to see what people with disabilities can do. We will need more assistive tech in the future. Assistive technology rocks my classroom and my entire world.
AT benefits students like Alina who are in special education programs, but also for children with learning difficulties or diagnoses that may not be included in special education programs. Here are some common examples of AT used in the classrooms. For example, for children with communication needs, you have eye gaze devices, communication boards, picture boards, word boards, voice output devices, Dynabox communication devices, Vanguard and Vanguard Plus devices, portable talkers, speaking language masters, and springboards. For children with hearing needs, you have closed caption TV, loops, flashing, vibrating alarm amplifiers, and pocket talkers. And for children with vision needs, you have talking clocks, magnifiers, and readers. The future of AT in classrooms is exciting and fluid. One example of a newer technology released in May this year is the Braille Note Touchpad. If you'd like to learn more about the Braille Note Touchpad, you can go to the link that I've included at the bottom of this slide. Another example of a newer technology is OCR, or Optical Character Recognition. This allows children to upload text to a program that highlights words, sentences, or paragraphs, speaks words out loud, otherwise known as text-to-speech, changes the colors and the size of text, and places digital bookmarks that enable users to move around within the text. I've also included the link for the OCR if you'd like to learn more about this technology also. In conclusion, AT is a vital part of education, and teachers must be aware of their students' needs and be able to adapt as necessary. There are many students that can benefit from AT, not just those identified as special education students. AT includes devices that help with the mobility of children. AT is always changing. Teachers can benefit their students by staying up to date on AT. And AT can make the teacher's job and their students' learning more successful and overall enjoyable. And this concludes my presentation on adaptive and assistive technology. Thank you for your time and have a good day.